Hello there guys, welcome to my channel. It's been quite a bit of a calm in the market because some people who call themselves the owner of London have just gotten their man yesterday. So talking about Arsenal, they got a Gyökeres yesterday, and then there's a bit of calmness. So they left, the owner of the transfer window to be there to do his business. That's Chelsea. We are the one always active in the market, and then of course you can't take it away from us. And then you know that if there's any successful team in the Premier League currently, they are the active spenders. Man City did not just come to dominate the league just by sitting or staying idle. They got people, they got players, and then that's how they have been able to dominate the league for quite some number of years now. And in fact, we are already calling the Premier League a farmers league because of the dominance of Manchester City. Now there's no team that wants to do something significant in the Premier League and then you will not buy a player. No, it's not possible. Now it makes Chelsea smarter. I don't know how people always view it. They always view like, and then look, I knew the reason why there has been so much noise about Chelsea transfer business is because of the way we tend to buy as many players as possible. And then now, most of those players we bought are going to be turning profit for us. Is the truth, because now we have already sold like 3 players for a record fee. So most of these players, there are some that will go, of course, like a player like Mikhailo Modric is a waste of business investment now. So now it's part of the losses. When you sign a player and amortize them for like 8-9 years. So if they are not performing, it's going to become a burden on the club. And so we have already won in Mikhailo Modric. Of course, now let's talk about the market and then what has been happening. And then now there has been movement concerning Xavi Simons for Chelsea, Jorrel Hato, and then there's something significant in the market today which I'm going to read. So let me just read few sports analyst information that have been coming out today, and then let's make sense out of it, because it's looking like there's a possibility of a swap deal between Xavi Simons and Carney Chukwuemeka. Now you get the reason why I said this. Now let me read from Ben Jacobs. Hold the thought please from what I'll be reading. Chelsea are close to agreeing personal terms with Xavi Simons ahead of talks with Leipzig. Simons open to CFC and is more broadly prioritizing a Premier League move. It's possible Carney Chukwuemeka is raised in any discussion with Chelsea seeking a permanent exit. Chukwuemeka hasn't yet held any talks with Leipzig and he remains keen on a return to Dortmund. However, Dortmund wants to do a loan with a buy option which Chelsea are yet to sanction. You see what is happening? Now Carney Chukwuemeka is on loan to Dortmund. Dortmund are not paying for him this season. They want to also still loan him for another season, now probably with an obligation to buy, which is going to be probably going to be activated at the end of the coming season. Now Chelsea don't want this. Chelsea has a policy of loaning a player once, and if the player doesn't perform, they don't intend to loan the player. That's how they come up with idea of removing the player from the first team, just like they did to Trevor Chalobah, they did to Chilwell, currently not with the first team. And these are players that are still currently under contract with Chelsea. So I felt like, okay, that same idea has been used for Carney Chukwuemeka, and then whatsoever the case may be, whether he performs or not, they are trying to force most of those players to leave. Now, hold the thought of the first message that I just read. Now, Florian Plettenberg is, sorry if I murdered his name, Florian Plettenberg. Now, he's a German sports analyst, and this is what he has to say. Exclusive from RB Leipzig are now pushing to sign Carney Chukwuemeka. Leipzig have opened talks over the 21-year-old central midfielder from Chelsea. Further steps are planned for Wednesday. Leipzig have now also been informed that Chelsea want to sign Xavi Simons. RB are prepared to sell. A verbal agreement between Xavi and Chelsea is close, but not 100% done yet. Now, are you sensing what I'm sensing? There's possibility of a swap deal between Chelsea and RB Leipzig for Xavi Simons and Carney Chukwuemeka. I feel like this is going to happen, but it will be very, very reasonable if it's going to be a swap deal, because currently Xavi Simons is quoted to be somewhere around 65 to 70. So now if you are doing an exchange with a player like Carney Chukwuemeka, of course 30 million should be on the table. With the potential of that player, 30 million should be on the table. Now, because Borussia Dortmund also now are rallying around to see how they can do the deal with Chelsea, even with cash as we speak. So I'm seeing the possibility of a swap deal with RB Leipzig. And if that is going to be possible, I will be so happy, because there has been so much mind games going on, and then people thinking, how myself also for one thought that, okay, now if we sign Xavi Simons, where is he going to play? Of course, Chukwuemeka is not in the current squad, but we have players who are starters, who we can't afford to bench. Now, but anything that will make the squad number reduce, or probably swap an inefficient player for a more efficient player, is the best that you can ever hope for, because now we are not just playing Premier League, my brother. We are playing Champions League, playing every possible cups in the Premier League, in England. So now we need most of these players. We need the most strength, and the quality of players in the squad determines how we're able to fight for each and every trophy. So I'm not ruling it out, and there's this possibility of the swap deal is going to be amazing. It's really going to be amazing. So that's what I thought. And then let me read this from Florian Potterberg again. He said Chelsea and Xavi Simons are getting closer as reviewed last night. A verbal agreement is near. Personal terms are not an issue, as Xavi is open to the Chelsea project. Very good talks also took place with RB Leipzig yesterday, with more scheduled for today, which is today of this recording. So now RB Leipzig are waiting for an offer. Leipzig are simultaneously working on a deal for Carney Chukwuemeka. So this is going to happen. This is just going to happen. Now the clubs are aware of the player who wants to sell, and they are aware that Chelsea are already in talk with Xavi Simons. I've said my own opinion concerning what I think will happen, and then I feel like this is going to happen. I'm probably going to come to a swap deal. I'm not seeing it as a way of like the player come to us and then that's all. No, like we probably might still have to pay a slight fee to RB Leipzig, because if they are putting 60 million and then we let a player go, then we are still having like 30 million deficit. Now the good thing that can happen is that the fixed fee can be 20 million or about 25 or thereabout, and 5 million the add-ons. Now for Xavi Simons, RB Leipzig are still here to balance some money to PSG, and I think it's add-ons. And then PSG has a sell-on clause. So whatsoever deal that RB Leipzig makes on the player, so like if you sell the player, there's a fraction that I think about 10% of that money is going back to PSG. So it makes the club really calm about this particular deal. No need to rush. The money is not all ours. We have to still slide some of the money, and then most of these clubs still pay their agents. So I feel like that's gonna be one to watch out for, and then it's going to turn out really well for Chelsea. So that's it for it. And then now we have some exclusive news also for our desired defender. Now talking about Jorrel Hato. This time I have to call the name because it's ringing bell now. It looks like we've already signed him. Now exclusive from Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea have now made official club-to-club contact with Ajax for Jorrel Hato. The player wants the move and is happy to accept personal terms. Hold that thought. Now, same from Fabrizio Romano. Jorrel Hato's agent confirmed exclusive story on Chelsea now in talks. The agent says yes, it is true. Chelsea have contacted Ajax. The only thing I can say is that Jorrel is now in talk with Chelsea. This is music to my ears. Because this means that personal terms is not an issue and is currently on the way. It's almost about to be done. And then the club-to-club negotiation has also commenced. Like I said in my previous video, I'll feel more excited if this player, Jorrel Hato, can come to Chelsea ahead of Xavi Simons. Because for Xavi Simons, we have many players who can perform in that role. But for Jorrel Hato, we have only one player, Cucurella, who can play in that department. So now signing him, who's good in the right back position and can play central defensive position also, it's a fantastic one. So it's going to be very, very massive for Chelsea. I see this deal also working out for Chelsea very, very fine. Jorrel Hato is going to be a very good player for us. I've watched some of his highlights, probably should too. I've watched some of his highlights, and then I feel like winning World Cup has made things a lot more easier for Chelsea. A lot more easier, because now most of the players that we are pointing at, like, they really want to join us. They really know how important the squad is and the kind of player and their ambition. In fact, it's clear as day. It's not about you want to sign a player and he's asking what is the mindset. No, they know we win trophies. No, that is it. Joao Pedro says, for all my years of playing football, I've laid my hand on the first trophy. That he did in 3 matches. Playing 3 matches with Chelsea, and he got the Club World Cup trophy, which is World Champions trophy. That was like a milestone for him. And I know that he will not forget it, no matter the club he signed for. After Chelsea, he will never forget.
So I feel like most of these players, that World Cup has done us a lot of good, a whole lot of good. So it's already in ringing bells in the mind of players all over. Permit me to talk about Joao Felix. Now, he's also listed as one of the part of the list of the outgoing players that Chelsea are looking to offload. And then why I'm talking about him is because he has been having some struggles. You understand? Now, Chelsea has gotten him on loan at first, which we thought worked at least to some extent well under Mauricio Pochettino. He was known to Chelsea and then he performed, got us some goals, but the season was that bad. Now, Chelsea could not get him. But with the exchange of Gallagher, which was a pure profit for Chelsea because he was an academic player, then to Atletico were able to get him and then sell Gallagher. Now, it still didn't work. Those were some of the times that I going to look at Chelsea, but that's a clearly capital's way of doing business. And then I don't understand, and I felt I was mad at the time. How can you spend about 40 to 45 million for a player and 6 months down the line, you loan the player? And so I say this player doesn't play, or maybe the coach doesn't like this pattern and everything, style of play. Why did you even get the player in the first place? Because I don't understand. The first time it's happening, you buy a player of that for that amount, and you loan him 6 months down the line. And it was a time where when we're doing well, Enzo Maresca said that they should not set Chelsea up, that we are not going for the title, and the form began to crash. They began to go down. Kopama started losing form, and almost at the end of the season, if they had left Joao Felix, it could have been a very good replacement for Kopama. Instead of using him every match, his form keep getting deeper, and they kept using him no less than everything. It was unnecessary. So now talking about this player himself, Atletico signed him from Benfica for a record for almost 80 million, 70 to 80 million also as at that time. He could not play well in Atletico because he's not a physical type and he doesn't run, he doesn't chase after the ball. He was not enjoying himself in Atletico. They tried their best and he's not a player they can easily sell. So he got loaned. He was loaned to Chelsea under Mauricio Pochettino because we have so many runners in the team, like Gallagher, so many runners as at that time. That was the reason why Mauricio Pochettino was not going to let go of Gallagher because he has pace. He gives the opponent tough time because of his run and pace. So he allowed player like Joao Felix to be able to drive proper because when they lose the ball, they have somebody who can mark. Now, when he came under Maresca, I know that Maresca doesn't like his style of play. It's not like he doesn't like the player, but his work ethics. I think that was what happened. He got noticed, and I remember there was a time I saw it on Twitter that when Kyle Walker was telling him from the dugout when they were coming out from the second half of a particular match that he should be passing the ball, he should not hold the ball, that is not allowing Messi. So that means he hold on to the ball as much and he did not run after the ball. When you look at the Milan squad at that time, there are so many mature players who doesn't like to run, but they had to run because their player lost the ball. So he has been struggling, and then he knew himself that if he can go back to Benfica, probably he's going to find his form back. But this is a fine player. I really love Joao Felix, and I don't know why he's struggling. So this is my own opinion about him. And what I've seen is that he enjoys more. Just like a player like Fabregas. Only that he scores more goals than Fabregas. He doesn't chase ball. Only Mourinho makes Fabregas to chase after the ball. Okay, what's the name? This Antonio Conte makes Fabregas to run after the ball. Even at that, it's still limited. But at least his ball marking increased significantly. And so this is a player like Fabregas. I don't know how Fabregas will have played if he's now playing in the Premier League now, because it seems like Premier League is getting tougher every time. And that's the reason why Manchester United are currently struggling, because they need more players who can run, even without getting the ball, just run. Because the other team gets the ball, they are ready to overload you. So that's the kind of system in Premier League, and I feel like Joao Felix will not be given the time to express himself. So I wish him good luck. Let me read this from reading from Record Portugal, and they said Joao Felix is very close to confirming his return to Benfica. This deal is close, being finalized for 25 mil for half of the Portuguese international transfer fee, and it's expected to be done by Friday. So this Friday, Chelsea are expected to make this 25 million euro for Joao Felix. I think Joao Felix cost us about 45 million, 40 to 45 million. So this is about half of the money. So now I wish him well. I know that this particular message is probably going to be true, because from this Record Portugal, they understand most of the Portuguese transfer business. So I feel Joao Felix will probably go and then he enjoy his time and give us the money to also buy some other players, of course, because this is or keep the money. You understand? Because now we are having Xavi Simons. We don't even need to buy any other player, because even Xavi Simons himself is a little bit of an headache, because considering the number of players who are playing in that position. So I feel like this is going to be the end. Let me have your reaction. What do you think about why Joao Felix has been struggling? He's a fine player, but he has struggled. He has really struggled. In Barcelona, he was supposed to be on a loan for Barcelona, which he enjoyed. He scored a lot of goals, and then because Barcelona rely on him to only play in attacking position, you know, it's more of tactical football. They don't do more of these runnings and that Atletico does, that most of the Premier League team does also. So he enjoyed himself. If not because I know, or I feel if not because of the issues Barcelona have about signing players, transfer fee like that, because it was hard, they would have gotten Joao Felix. And then maybe his work rate also was an issue, because he doesn't have work rate. And a player without work rate, no manager, you'll be looking like a joker in the eyes of most of this man. You'll be looking like a joker, because now when you are supposed to run, you're expecting ball. Nobody's going to allow you to do that. So you can be a very good player, but once you don't have the energy to run after mark ball one-on-one and everything, on and off the ball, you're going to have this very serious problem. Now that's what I think is happening to Joao Felix. So kindly give me your own personal opinion. This is my own, subject to my opinion, of course, but this is what I think that's happening to
the reason why he has been struggling. And I wish him well. If this deal is going to pull through on Friday, I wish him well. So kindly like and subscribe, and thank you for watching our videos that we've been posting. And then kindly follow us on our Facebook, our Instagram, our TikTok page. The links are all in the video. If you're on Facebook, you know the link to YouTube, to TikTok, to Instagram are there. Anywhere you are, you can just locate the order. But our long videos are always on YouTube. So if what you're watching is a short clip, you see the long videos on YouTube. So thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing to our channel. Kindly like and subscribe and switch on your notification bell so that when our subsequent videos drops, you'll get notified. Do have a lovely time. Bye.